Hey up everybody, I'm ThunderSnow and welcome to Wizard of Legend. This is a roguelike game with all the bells and whistles that come with it. The game is produced and developed by Contingent 99 and the music is composed by Dale North. I will have all the links in the description for the Steam game and for Contingent 99 and Dale North's official websites. Click on them if you enjoy them. You can get the soundtrack with the game on Steam as well. It does cost a little bit more, but there is some awesome music in this game. I do really love game soundtracks. It's one thing I'm really into. So, what do you do in Wizard of Legend? That's the wrong button. Well, to start with, it's going to be a roguelike with a fast movement system. As you can see, it's based a lot on dodges and cooldowns. You get 4 spells to start with, and you can only take 4 spells into the dungeon. You can actually equip up to 6 working spells and 1 in stock, which means you can swap it in and out, but you can't have it in a quick key. And the spells are unlocked by buying them in the shops here. You pick the gems up as you run through the dungeon and defeat enemies and bosses. It's the only way you can actually collect gems. And once you buy an item or a spell, it goes into your inventory. So item wise is Mimi. It's gonna let me select some items. So there's 48 items in each category and they all do different things. So like Binding of Isaac, there are a lot of items to pick up and a lot of spells to use. The key here is finding something which you're going to be happy with. Like critical hit chance is always a good one, but I just like damage. I've got the Glove of Midas, which I don't think I want. That's just extra cash. That I do like. I'm going to have a jewellery box so that I get to heal when I pick up some gems. Gems are quite rare in the dungeon, but you can come out with a semi-decent run with quite a few of them. Maybe around 100 if you get to 3rd or 4th level. You do have to do quite a bit of farming though to start buying and using spells. So let's get in and see what the combat's like. So the 3 bosses, the 3 main bosses there are random. There is someone in the main town which you can pay to lock them in a certain order. I think it's only the first one you can choose, but it allows you to get your spell alignments correct, because you don't want to use fire against fire. Fortunately, I've got an ice whip and fireballs, although I don't like the fact that I've got punching on fire. So, to start with, what you'll find is the dodge is very useful. It's the main way of not only protecting yourself, but also moving yourself into a position where you can realistically take out the enemies without getting hit. Now, health is a big issue in this game. See, that was a stupid damage. Health is a big issue, but it always is in roguelites. It's one of the things that kind of holds you back. For me, the game shines with its combat system, just because... Son of a bitch. Just because it's more fast-paced than most other roguelites that I know. You have to focus on not only roguelike elements, but you also have to treat it as like a bullet hell as you're going through it. Now the dungeon consists of... Oh, that's my items. By the way, that's what I'm rocking at the minute. Flame Strike Basic, Frost Feint, Dash, and then the Creeping Tendrils and the Exploding Fireball. The descriptions are there if you want to read them. Now... Oh, that was silly damage. Now a typical run for me lasts about half an hour to 45 minutes. If I don't do stupid stuff like that. The problems you've got is the cooldowns, really. Spell cooldowns can take quite a long time, so if you go in and try and hit them, you're going to end up losing that. Also, you can get interrupted. If you're getting a spell off or attacking, you will get hit, and that will prevent you from... Not only prevent you from doing the spell, but you'll have to recharge the spell. You have to wait for the cooldown again. Now, one good tactic that I've learned is it's okay to run away. Certain enemies are basically too tanky, and if they chase you down, then, well, you're going to get smashed. There is a super move that you just saw happen. If you get your combo meter up far enough, then you get to unleash a special with your signature move, which on this one, the enhanced increases the blast radius, and I get to launch 3 at the same time, which makes it very powerful. You can get enhanced cards, but you can only pick them up in the dungeon. This is a boss tablet. I can start the boss at any time, But if you notice the skulls on there, however many skulls are lit up will determine how hard the boss is going to be, because there'll be more enemies accompanying the boss the more skulls that are lit up. The way that we reduce the skulls is by killing the enemies on the level. If you notice on the minimap, there are 3 skulls on there, and that shows you how many are left to bring down the amount of people you'll have to deal with the boss. There is a map, which is that one, and you'll find yourself running along in map view quite a lot. Well, I do. Chest. Those are chaos gems, and I get a little bit of healing. And we get a card. Let's see what this is. Now lancers, they're the ones that give me particular trouble, because they've got reach that is beyond their size. It seems like quite an odd distance. Now you do find spells along the dungeon. Once you pick them up, they will go into your spell list. That's okay. That's kind of like just a defense thing. Now, you don't start with 6 spells, but you can run up to 6 spells without an issue, and then other spells go into stock after that. So this is going to be a shocky thing. Oh, right, we've got to his first shop. Now you do collect money and gems during your runs. The money is only used in the dungeon, the gems are only used outside the dungeon. But you can actually buy extra cards, upgraded cards, and items in the dungeon as you go in. But those, you don't get to keep those. Those disappear at the end of your run. The only ones you get to keep are when you do the main bosses, not the sub bosses. You get basically a special card or a card you haven't unlocked. Usually a signature. Yep, so the emphasis on combat. Oh, this is my favourite room. This guy sells cursed stuff. Knocks the unfortunate. The trouble with this is that you get to pick up something for free, which does give you a benefit, but there's a serious negative towards it. I don't know what most of these do, so this is probably going to mess my run up, but if I ever come to one of these cursed items, I've just got to pick them up. Large red button, I think I've had that one, and I think it stops you from being able to heal, but at the end of a level it will heal up to a certain amount. Scalpel, I don't know, and double trouble. Let's do that one. Let's see what it does. Right, so we deal double damage and receive double damage, so that's going to change my playstyle a lot. I'm going to have to go more for long range and try and avoid being attacked at all costs. Because you do take serious damage anyway, but to have double damage like that, it's going to seriously affect me. I've got a load of money. Usually I buy the heal potion, which I will do when I've finished the floor, but I can always come back to this guy. We're at 90% done. There's still a few enemies left because that skull's just barely lit up, if you can see it on the left. So let's find these enemies and kick bottom, and then we can move on. A good way of dealing with enemies is to just knock them into the fire pits, or into any pit if you're on like an ice level or something. Or if you want, just jump in yourself like I usually do. Archer, go away, thank you. So that's all the enemies on this level. We've opened the map 100% and everything is tickety-boo. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through the portal, which takes you to the boss room, and the green portal always takes you to the shop. So I'm going to buy the healing potion, and I might buy something else. I can only buy the VIP, so I don't think I'm going to do that. I'll save it for next level. And we're going to see which boss we get to face. They are random bosses. Strafe Archer's not a problem. It's pretty easy to defeat. Now you'll notice that he's got a yellow outline on him. Whilst he's got a yellow outline, you cannot do... You can do damage, but you can't stun him. If you actually hit him while it hasn't got the yellow outline on him, you will do a stun. And then you can get some shots into him without him being able to do anything. First stage bosses are pretty easy to deal with. You only have to do minimal bullet dodging, kind of like bullet hell style. Yep, you see that red shirted mage? That means that that mage has an alignment to fire. So fire attacks will do less damage to them. and ice attacks will do more damage. There are 3 alignments altogether, even though there are 4 spell types. The 3 alignments are fire, ice, and earth. The 4th one is air, but that doesn't seem to have a weakness or a benefit. That's just standard. Fireball should kill them. Be very careful with dodging on these sort of levels because I always end up jumping into bloody lava. 2 skulls left, but once you've opened up the boss area, teleporters work. So once I open up the shops, then the teleporters will already be there. So that's a good thing. Quick way of getting round. Because I'm taking double damage, I am getting wrecked. I need to find the shop. Archers, archers, archers. That went easy enough. Shop, please. Now I always end up running out of health because I always take little bits of damage over time. This is easy, just launch them into lava behind the statue. Come back, fireball. Fireball. Nope. See, the cooldown is a bit... yeah, it's a bit long. You can pick up relics and things which decrease cooldown. But usually it's either a deal with the devil thing with a serious negative consequence, or you need an item to do it. I don't know what any of these do. If I've got a major gripe with the game, you don't get a description of items before you buy them. So I don't know what any of this is going to do for me. And if you're in the shopping area at the start and you've been through a few dungeon runs to get some crystals, there's still no description, so you don't know what you're buying. You just buy a load of stuff and then hope that it will have a benefit to you. I'm going to go for Captain's Ring, I think. I know the Battery of Tyrannus increases lightning damage. I do have 1 bit of lightning on me. Don't know what the other 2 do. We'll do Captain's Ring and see what that looks like. Okay, I've got 1, 2, 3 different types of Arcana on me. I just need earth and maybe air, and then it'll do more damage. It won't a waste, it's a damage boost and all damage is helpful. Right, so where we're going. And then we get the... ooh. We get the spell shop. Now that is an enhanced version of my dash. So what does my dash do? I leave a decoy, and if I get that, it gives me an extra decoy, so I get 2. I'm going to do it just because I'm here. That means I get 2 decoys for the enemies to run into, and it'll freeze them if they do. We're all done apart from the top, which I am going to go there. Now this is going to be a secret room. Not secret, but yeah, it's this guy again. What happens with this guy is, or with this room, there's always 2 shops on a map. The spell shop and the item shop, they're always there. But this room here where the cursed merchant turns up, there can be other things that appear here from, you know, like pinatas. A donkey pinata you've got to put some serious firepower into to destroy. It could be a vampire doctor who takes your arcana but gives you a relic which usually is to do with better healing. There's like a gambling thing where you they'll ask for one of your cards and then they'll random up a bunch of cards and you've got to pick one, and that's the one that it gets replaced with, so it has got a random element to it. Places that you can sell your relics to, there's a guy that likes to buy relics and you can drop it for money. Some interesting stuff like that. I know that the emergency spiked kit, or spiked emergency kit, it heals you up to about 90 something. I'm going to take that. Right, so for the cost of 200 health, it will refill my health. That's good for me because I take little bits of damage, so as long as I can survive within the damage that it refills to, because I think it refills to about 90 something, then I will be okay with that. Boss time, who have we got this time? The only one I don't like is the mage. Crash Knight is easy. So all you do is wait for him to dash, and then stick him with everything you've got. Oh, I didn't wait till his thing came back. I was a bit slow. Usually I just launch my fireball in. But it's not recharging. But yeah, the first tier bosses are really easy to get through. Rah. Shop I got my potion from, I did. So then we go on to the third one, which is now an actual boss. The first boss you fight is pretty easy. The Flame Empress is pretty easy. The Ice Queen is easy, but the Earth guy, he gives me a problem sometimes. Flame Empress, let's go. So, the boss, same again. If they've got a yellow ring, you can't hit them. And you can only hit them once that's gone. Typically, they will do... Oh, come on. Typically, they'll do 3 attacks and then you can get in there to do some damage. But I think it's been patched recently. And to say it's a bit bullet hell... Mister. To say it's like a bullet hell, it's pretty easy to avoid most of the attacks. Get her, yep. Yeah, they've definitely changed the cooldown on that, because I was playing this is the worst one. I was playing this other day and she had a lot longer cooldown than that. She was stunned for a lot longer. She seems to be a lot more aggressive now, which is good, because as you can see, she hasn't hit me yet. And her attacks aren't that hard to dodge. Bye-bye. Now the hard part comes after this level. Now this chest will have gems, but it does give you a free magic. Now this Arcana you can equip back at the box as well, so you get to keep this one outside of the dungeon. The rest of them that you pick up will disappear when you leave. Let's see what it does. Ride a bolt of lightning. Okay, let's see what it does. So is it a second dodge? It looks like it's like kind of a second dodge. Might better use that. The trouble is, the more spells you get, the harder it becomes to orientate your fingers to be able to actually do all of them efficiently. The more that gets added, the harder it gets. So a good plan is to stick to the first 4 that you bring in with you, if that's what your combos are like, or that's what you're used to running with. What the hell was that? And then just expand up as you can. Like that electric one there. I'm used to the electric one. That were actually a lot better than I thought. Come on. So that actually, if you hit somebody with that, it actually does like a lightning dance. Let's have a look at that again. Right, let's get rid of you. No! Flame. Bye. Yeah, so it's actually pretty good having spikes sometimes. Not if you keep jumping into them, but it's good for getting rid of enemies quickly. I'll take that. Thank you very much. Now what I can do... Executes quicker and affects a larger area. Okay, so that's going to be good for me. I can still afford the health. There's always a health available in the item shop. Bye. There we go. Yeah, if they're on little platforms, just throwing in the fireball usually takes care of them. But it all depends on the setup you've got. Well, you messed that one up. Yes, I definitely need that health now. Although that thing's kicking in, my relic, and it brings you back up to 92, so I'll always be at 92. As long as I don't lose that much in a fight, then I'm okay. Here's the doctor song. Trouble is, she's going to take my tendrils. So can I swap out my tendrils for that? That's the wrong one. Are you going to take that instead? No, she still took my tendrils, which is a pain because that's my favourite my favourite spell. We get, though, a discount when purchasing potions, which is only good once per level, so it wasn't really that good to get rid of my other things. Especially to say I've got the money for potions anyway. Now I have to get used to a new combo because I've lost my tendrils and that's usually what I open with. So now I'm opening with Lightning Strike. Try and remember that. Oh, that's not good. Oh, there's a bit of ice in my way. Zippy zip. That's not zippy zip. That's not zippy zip. That's zippy zip. There we go. I've forgotten my button combinations already. Okay. Don't forget, if you find it too hard, just run away. It's a valid strategy. Okay, I'm slowly catching monkey. Because I ain't going down like that. Okay, boss room. We're going to leave this for now because I've got one more room to open up, I think. No, it wasn't. It was Dr. Song. So, I think it is going to be boss time, but before that I'm going to go pick up that potion I don't think I picked up. I hope I haven't. Come on, come on. No, 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 no. Yeah, I do like that cursed item for giving me health back to 190 whatever. No, 90 whatever. Because I always take damage. Always. Okay, so that's 100%. I know it says 97%, but all the enemies are done. I think it's just a corner somewhere. Yeah, where the shop is. There's kind of a bit missing above it. That'll be where the last 3% will be. But all the enemies are done, so let's grab the health. Yay, it's still there, and it's only 50. What else should we have? Cake. That looks like good stuff. And being called Super Carrot Cake must be good stuff. This does... Taking damage increases your max health up to a certain limit. Interesting. I do take damage and I get to heal. So could I farm that in somewhere? Although I couldn't refill my health afterwards and I'm never at full health anyway. Don't be a mage. Don't... Oh, burst mage. I hate burst mage. No, no, no. No, 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 no. It's not going to end well for me. No, there we go. Yeah, that's the hardest boss in my opinion. You've got like a spearman, easy. You've got a rogue, which is medium difficulty, but still doable. You've got the crash knight, which is easy. And then you've got that thing there, which when you've got the mage summoning things, and then you've got other mages or smaller footman mages summoning things, it gets to be a very bullet hell on that style. But yeah, I do find that the hardest boss. But yeah, this has been... Alright, before I go, I'm going to show you that you can actually buy... Let's have a look at the shops then, shall we? You have an item shop where you can buy different items. Don't tell you what they are before you buy them. Once you've bought them, they will be in Mimi somewhere. And they all do different things. And there's 48 available in each one. I like the horse. Not only does it give you a horse's head, but it makes you run really fast. Whee! Then you have spells, which again, you can buy stuff. And then when they appear in your tome. Now the tome has all the spells that you have. They're the basic attacks. I've only got 3 of them open. Dash attacks, I'll only have like 4 of them, 1 for each type of alignment. Standard attacks, this is where you get a load of different attack types. So you can actually try out all your moves on these dummies if you want. Don't know what this does. Okay. I'm not impressed with that one. What I find is though, you actually, once you find out the spells you like, you tend not to move away from them. That might be why I struggle on getting past like the bosses and things. See what ball lightning does. Now, the super move, or the, what do you call it? That one. What do you call it? Signature, that's it. Now, the signature move has 2 effects, really. You've got the standard one, which that's a charge up and release, launching a electric fireball, which does a lot of damage. I like that. And then, what you can do is, what you'll notice is a blue bar above by the portrait in the top left. See it going up? When that hits the top, you will unlock a special, which then your signature move, right, that's when we're in special mode, and your signature move will have extra attacks. So it does like more damage and more area. The one that I like is the Fireball, which is actually the one you start with. Not that one. I don't want Flame Strike. Just Fireball. Now, normal Fireball does this. It's fair enough, just an explosive. Now, that blue orb will give you your full combo meter, so you can test out your specials. And it launches 3 fireballs when you're under your special conditions. So that's the magic. You can swap it all around, change it all up. Some good stuff there. I do like as well, on your dash, I don't normally use ice. Fire's pretty good. The air burst just does dash, it does no damage or any extra effects. But the fire one, you can actually set people on fire by dashing. Has a long cooldown, but it's worth having. That's my favourite. This is a robe shop. Now the robe shop gives you the ability to buy robes that have different abilities. Did I really just say that? So what the trouble is, again, you can't tell what each one does before you buy it. If I were to look in Mr. Wardrobe over here, then you will see I've already unlocked 3 extra robes. These 2 you start with, which are just a standard, and they're just 2 different colours. 2 colours because of multiplayer, local only unfortunately. I've opened Grit, which is my favourite, which is better armour, better defence. We've got Evade and Critical, decreases cooldown and decreases run speed. Increases run speed. So the robes do actually do different things. I like the yellow, let's see what that does. See what yellow does. Critical strike and critical damage. Yeah, it's not bad. Although I don't want to give up my robe here, which actually protects me. You can talk to the townsfolk, but they only say the same thing over and over again, and none of them are really that important. This chap and this chapette over here, after destroying their stuff, they do special things. This guy, no, don't attack him. Talk to him. Right, Marlind will allow you to rearrange the bosses in which you come across them. So you can decide which boss you want to face first, so that you can sort out the alignment of your spells. Because it's best to take frost spells in if the first boss is going to be frost. Because after that, it gets harder, does the dungeon, and you want to have the frost to go against the fire. So yeah, spell alignment does help. And then this lady, Jade, she just likes to purchase your Chaos Gems, which I believe, I've never done any of these 2, but I believe that is just for inside the dungeon. It means you get to enter the dungeon with 200 extra gold, and that's it. So you've got your items, you've got your spells, you've got your wardrobe, and then apart from that there is only 2 other shops over here, well not even shops. One's to arrange the dungeon, and the other one is to convert gems into coins for when you're in the dungeon. And that's it. That's a typical run for this. But yeah, I do like the game. I like the combat system, and as a roguelite, it's been fun. So yeah, it's a good game. It's £12.39 on Steam, so the price it's not AAA priced, so it's reasonably priced as well in my opinion. I've enjoyed it. If you've liked what you've seen, check out the links in the description. And this has been the Wizard of Legend. I've been ThunderSnow, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all later. Okay, Mr. Horsey. Yeah. Alright.